Hello and welcome to today's Up to Thrive Manage Your Mind Mindful Moment.
Welcome to Up to Thrive, your go-to podcast for women's wellness in midlife, designed to educate, support, and inspire you to live your very best life. And now your host, Dr. Corina Sims.
Today I want to talk to you about the old wagon. You know the one. This damn wagon people keep falling off of. I want to start by saying if you have a wagon that you have fallen off of, in case you didn't know it, you, my friend, are practicing all or nothing thinking. You're either on the wagon or you're off of it. You're either doing the thing or you're not. You're either being good or you're being bad. You're all in or you're all out. Okay, you get the picture. Today, I want to challenge your beliefs around that old wagon. I want to challenge you to consider a better way, a way that can help you stay more consistent with your health goals, a more sustainable approach. Whether it's wanting to start and maintain a regular exercise routine or establish healthy nutrition foundations, or even shed some body fat. I want to help you jump off of that old wagon, chop it up, and use it as firewood. Let's look at some sneaky examples of where all or nothing shows up. I've heard people make fun of other people for having a burger at McDonald's with a Diet Coke. The idea is that if you're having a burger, you may as well have the extra 300 calories that come with the regular Coke. That is also all or nothing thinking. Skipping your workout because you got delayed at work, woke up late, or got busy doing something else, and now you only have half an hour, so what's the point? That is also all or nothing thinking. You are too busy this week to get in X amount of workout, so you decide you'll just make a start next week. All or nothing thinking. You think to yourself, I have so much weight to lose, I may as well have the Snickers bar. What is the difference anyway? Or, I've already messed up today, I may as well eat the whole box. That is all or nothing thinking. You can see how we can easily not just fall off of that wagon, but then also get run over by it. Or maybe even worse, fail to even get on it in the first place. Have you ever stopped to consider that the only thing standing between you and that goal that you'd like to meet are the sneaky thoughts you keep believing when they run through your head? I've just given you several examples of how they can show up. And I'd like to suggest that a very effective strategy to overcome all or nothing thinking is by becoming really good at reframing. So reframing is simply just choosing a new perspective on the same situation, finding a different way to look at it. So putting it in a new frame. It doesn't mean denying reality or pretending that everything's perfect. It does mean finding a more helpful, flexible, and empowering way to look at what's happening so that you can make choices that serve your values and your goals, not your inner critic. And we've all got one of those. I want to give you a bit of a framework to help you the next time you catch yourself starting down an all or nothing spiral. And I will say, even this catching yourself bit takes awareness. There are 3 types of awareness. There's awareness that you've already gone down the spiral. There's awareness while you're on the spiral. Or there's awareness just before we head down the spiral. Now, in the beginning, it could be that you only catch yourself after you've gone down the spiral. You've already done it. But with practice and continued work on self-awareness, you eventually get to the point that you can catch yourself as the thoughts come up and you're heading towards the spiral. So here are 4 steps that you can use to help you find a good reframe. Step 1 is to notice the all or nothing thought. When you feel like giving up, feel like you're slipping off track, or you're already down the spiral and beating yourself up, I want you to take a little pause and tune into what you're telling yourself. Ask yourself, what am I telling myself right now? So a few examples would be, this is just how I am. I never stick with anything. I've already messed up. I've already blown it today. I might as well keep going. Step 2 is to then challenge that thought. Is this really true? Have I really already messed up? Is it true I never stick with anything? I've already blown it today. I might as well keep going. Let's look at that thought and what that really means, and we can see just how ridiculous it is. What it really means, what you're really saying is, I made one decision that doesn't align with my goals, so the whole day is ruined. Perfection is the standard. If I slip up once, I have failed. If I can't be 100% on the plan, I might as well be 100% off. Does sound pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? All right, let's challenge that thought as well. Let's look at why I've already blown it today, I might as well keep going, isn't true, and it's certainly not helpful. First of all, one moment doesn't define the whole day. One day doesn't define the whole week. 1 week doesn't define the whole year. Okay? One unplanned snack or one missed workout doesn't undo your progress. The only way it will undo your progress is if you use it as an excuse to just completely give up. Secondly, I blew it makes us feel a sense of shame and hopelessness. And because we're human, and those feelings don't feel so good, they often lead us to make even more unhelpful choices. And third, your next choice still does count. Every decision is a new opportunity. Just like one salad isn't going to make you instantly healthy, one unhelpful choice isn't going to make you unhealthy. The truth is, and listen close here because this is the key. If we are nailing our workouts or our nutrition, 80% of the time we are making progress. We are headed in the right direction. We are nailing it. And that leaves 20% of the time for maybe not so much. It gives us grace. When we can look at where we aren't nailing it when we hope to, and instead of looking at those times as failures and using them as data, as feedback to identify what we could do differently next time, we can instead learn and continue to make progress. If we just do the best we can with the circumstances we find ourselves in, we are making progress. We are consistently showing up for ourselves. All right, step 3, be nice. Imagine what you'd say to a friend in the same situation. Would you say, oh yeah, you have totally blown it. You are completely useless. You should just throw in the towel right now and just give it up. I can't imagine that that'd be the case, or you probably don't have many friends, or at least you won't for long if you talk like that. So why do it to yourself? Ask yourself instead, what would I say if I were cheering myself on instead of criticizing myself? Try giving yourself some grace and compassion just as you would a friend. Okay, and then the final step, step 4, is to do the reframing that thought. Replace the unhelpful thought with a more balanced one. Here are a few examples. This wasn't perfect, but it's still progress. So any foot forward is progress. I did something, and that's better than nothing. One decision doesn't undo all my effort. I can get back on track right now. And then here's a few fill-in-the-blank options that you can save for later. Even though blank, I can still blank. So even though I've missed my workout today, I can still do it tomorrow. It's okay that blank, it doesn't mean blank. It's okay that I didn't get my whole workout in today. It doesn't mean that I'm not making progress. A more helpful way to see this might be blank. So, a more helpful way to see this might be, I now know if I eat enough protein during the day, I don't feel ravenous and then overeat at night. Let's try a quick reframing exercise together. I want you to think of something recent that didn't go as planned, and I want you to notice your automatic thought. You might want to pause me for a second and just have a think about that. Just see what's coming to your mind when you can picture yourself in that situation when it wasn't going as you had planned. Now, I want you to think of at least 2 alternative thoughts. Even if it feels forced at first, you're still exercising your mental muscles and it will get easier over time. Here are a few I'd like to leave you with today. Something is better than nothing. 10 minutes of movement, 1 protein-rich meal, or a single good night's sleep, they all still count. Aim for progress, not perfection. The goal isn't to be flawless, it's to keep going even when it's not perfect. There's no such thing as failure. It's always a learning opportunity. What can you learn from this moment that's going to help you next time? Reframing isn't about sugarcoating. It's about seeing things clearly and compassionately so you can respond in a way that helps you move forward, not shut down. Reframing can be a powerful tool in helping us opt to thrive. I hope you've enjoyed this Manage Your Mind mindful moment. And if you have, and you can think of someone else who might enjoy it, please pass it on. And don't forget to rate and review the podcast to make it more visible to those who might get something out of it too. Have a great week, everyone. And until then, I hope you opt to thrive.
The Opt to Thrive podcast is designed for information purposes only and is not engaged in the giving of medical advice. The information provided on the podcast should not be used for diagnosing or treating a health problem or disease. In no way should the information provided by Opt to Thrive be considered medical advice, and at all times the advice of a medical professional should supersede recommendations from Opt to Thrive. If you have or suspect you may have a health problem, you should consult your healthcare provider. The views expressed in this podcast are purely that of Dr. Sims and do not in any way reflect those of the institutions she contracts her medical services to.
Thank you for listening to Opt to Thrive. If you've enjoyed listening, please rate and share the podcast. You can visit our website at opttothrive.com and leave a comment for any subjects you would like to hear more about.